Eddie Olczyk, NBC's lead NHL analyst, is also now the Kentucky Derby analyst. Eddie, I got to ask you a couple hockey things, but before we do, how did you get this gig, man?
Hey, Ross, nice to be with you. I'm a lucky guy for sure. I mean, I've been a horse racing fanatic, handicapper, broken down horse player pretty much my whole life, and to get a chance to be a part of the horse racing team's coverage on NBC last summer in the Breeders' Cup, it just took the next step. So to be here at the Kentucky Derby and be a part of the Triple Crown coverage is just great, and it helps to pick a few winners on national television every once in a while, and somebody was listening, so I'm thankful for the opportunity.
All right, so then let's get into it. Is there a clear-cut favorite this year? Is there a guy that everybody's already talking, or a horse, I should say, not a guy? Is there a horse that everybody's talking about as being a legitimate Triple Crown threat and the favorite tomorrow?
Well, yeah, everybody seems to be talking about the morning line favorite, American Pharoah, and rightfully so. I mean, he's done nothing wrong, seems to be improving each and every race. And, when you get into this situation of, running in front of 140,000 people for a lot of these horses, they've never run this far, a mile and a quarter, as far as in a race. Some have never been on the track here at Churchill Downs, but American Pharoah seems to be the horse that everybody's looking at to the hopes of ending this long drought of a Triple Crown winner. Dortmund's another horse that is second in line as far as morning line favorites. A horse that is much bigger than a lot of these horses, has done nothing wrong, is 6 for 6 in his career. The one advantage, and the reason that I like Dortmund in this race on Saturday, is that he has had a race over the track here at Churchill Downs. So 20 horses, a lot can happen in the first eighth of a mile or first half of a mile, and especially in the surroundings. I mean, those two horses, rightfully so, are the favorites, but it's a wide open race. We can make a case for 8 or 9 different horses for the Run for the Roses on Saturday.
Well, give me a sleeper pick, Eddie, that, because of the odds, if I put money down on that horse, I could win big.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking at a couple of horses. I'm looking at Danzig Moon, which will be breaking out of, will be wearing number 5, and also Firing Line, number 10. So, look, if you do like the favorites, and like I said, I do like Dortmund to win the race, but if you can find a horse that can, upset the apple cart and be, somewhere in, I think both those horses that I gave you will be anywhere between 10 and 20 to 1. So if you can find a way to split the favorites, you got a chance to make a lot of money with not investing a whole heck of a lot. And, I think what's interesting, too, is that, fantasy sports is really come full bore here over the course of the last handful of years in all sports. But when you think about it, horse racing has been just that, is because everybody's putting their money into a pool, and whether you're sitting in New York City, Chicago, the West Coast, wherever it is, everybody's, playing that same race. Everybody's playing that same game, and you're going to divvy up the money if you can find a way to hit the big one. And, the track, and I think horse racing hasn't done enough on this, is explaining, look, you're not betting against the track. You're not wagering against the track. The track gets its cut. But they're the broker, like a real estate agent. But for me, you got a chance to make some real serious money here if you can find a way to either beat the favorite outright, or if the favorite does hit the board, is to find somebody to pick up the pieces, and then you can really make a lot of money.
We're talking with NBC lead NHL and Kentucky Derby analyst Eddie Olczyk. Last one, we got a minute here, Eddie.
Sure.
What got into Alex Ovechkin last night, and who's your favorite to win the Stanley Cup right now?
Well, I think in the Eastern Conference, the Rangers, to me, the way they played in the regular season, they need to play way better now. They're just not scoring a lot of goals. But to me, they're the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. In saying that, Alexander Ovechkin has found his game, his complete game here over the course of the last season. Barry Trotz, the new coach of the Capitals, has done an incredible job there. They got great chemistry. They have an identity on that team that they haven't had in the past, an experienced coach. But look, he's a difference maker. He's one of those guys, Ross, that if he doesn't score, he still has an impact on the game because he loves getting a body on people. But I expect that Ranger Capitals series to go a long way after that dramatic win by the Capitals last night in the last second of the game by Joel Ward.
And I watched a little bit of that Anaheim-Calgary game. Why are all the Anaheim dudes twice as big as the Calgary guys?
That's how they grow them. That's how they grow them in the left coast. That's how Anaheim likes to play.
That looked like a college team against a junior high team. That was unbelievable to me.
Yeah, they got some big boys, and their general manager Bob Murray did an incredible job this last summer by addressing that need. And I think it was a direct shot at the LA Kings, who are a big team like that. I mean, you add Ryan Kessler, Nate Thompson, Clayton Stoner, all big bodies, all over 6'2", 6'3", over 212. Those are some big boys, and it makes it really tough to grind it out against a team like Anaheim. Anaheim's a dangerous team in the West, along with the Blackhawks, but the Blackhawks have a heck of a challenge against the Minnesota Wild, who've been playing extremely well since the arrival of Devin Dubnyk in goal for them. So that should be a long series as well. But I give the edge to the Blackhawks with them having home ice and having won 2 cups in the last 5 years.
Eddie, really appreciate the time. Have a fun weekend, man.
Can't wait. Thanks for having me, Ross. Appreciate it very much.
All right, there he is, former NHL star. He's a Kentucky Derby analyst. He's an NHL analyst. Eddie Olczyk. Is there anybody else out there like that? I mean, I know Mannix does NBA and boxing, but hockey and the Kentucky Derby?